As Lubbock County continues its budget workshops for the next fiscal year, we're taking a closer look at how salaries stack up with the job market. KCBD News Channel 11's Brittany Crittenden started looking into some of these numbers last week with the sheriff's office. She joins us now with the data and what sticks out. Brittany.
Well, Christy, the county contracted Crow, an accounting and consulting firm, to complete a compensation study last July. It wanted to see how the county's salaries compared to the broader market and what it could do to attract and retain qualified employees. Crow worked with the county from July to November last year, looking at 30 different benchmark positions. It compared those to 6 market sources: the City of Lubbock, Texas Tech University, Hays County, Williamson County, the Economic Research Institute, and Mercer, a national salary database. Regional cost differences were taken into account for Hays and Williamson counties. Overall, the study shows the county leads the market for 2/3 of the benchmark positions and lags the market for the other third. Big picture, the report shows for public safety and professional roles, the market pays on average between 7 and 10% more than Lubbock County. Public safety is the most at-risk category, with 4 of the 6 positions paying below market. Those include staff sergeant, captain, and screening officer at about 9% below the midpoint in the market. Deputies are also nearly 4% below. In professional positions, some of the county's attorneys are making nearly 7% below market. The county is paying well for some of its skilled craft positions, like foremen making 16% above market, mechanics making 13% above, and equipment operators making nearly 7% above. While public safety is most at risk, detention officers strongly counter that, making 13% above market. Now, we all know pay is only part of what may keep you at a job. There's also benefits. When it comes to total compensation, the study shows the county is competitive with the market when it comes to health insurance and retirement. But when it comes to paid leave, the county only provides 33 days, compared to the 37 to 41 days granted to their positions elsewhere. Now, the study also gave some recommendations for increasing pay and even lowering some to bring them in line with the midpoint in the market. It also recommended an updated compensation policy, which the county and commissioners court reviewed in February. We'll see if any of these salary recommendations, though, make their way into the court in the coming months. Christy.
Okay, thanks so much, Brittany.